little walk, baby, down the wrong side of tracks. The moon is shining bright tonight, and the railroad cars are stacked. I meet some old friends of mine. They don't mean no harm. A cigarette light in a belly full of wine. When we get there, girl, be right on time. Yeah. Never want to go back. Never want to go back. Yeah. I never want to go back. I never want to go back.
If you're growing up in Juneau, you really have all different kinds of things, not just bars and clubs, but there's plenty of places to get exposed to music and experience playing music live, from the Juneau Arts and Humanities shows, and of course just, a little while ago, the folk festival, stuff like that. We're really lucky.
It was expensive because it's expensive to bring people up to Juneau, Alaska from anywhere, and when you bring a band even from the Pacific Northwest of 5 people up, you're going to spend $4,000 or $5,000 easily.
I think the difference to me between here and down south is that musical pool, that well. Here it's small but really deep, and it's got a few, I don't want to say shallow, but short pools around the edge where people only play a certain style of music, as opposed to down south where that pond is more like an ocean and it's really spread out, and you have to go find the deep holes to find the good players to play with.
Most of the music scene is in the bars, and it's obviously the over 21 crowd that can participate, so there are limited opportunities for young people to play in this community.
I came into the bar scene as just sort of this spitfire kid, underage, and just sort of trying to find a way in because I wanted to play with the big kids, and I found this really warm, welcoming community, actually. These really supportive, incredible people that I still get to be part of today.
Being exposed through my son Cole to the various musicians here in town, I started to realize there's a really high level of talent here in this community, and for such a small community, there's a lot of people that are really good and really want to play.
Growing up around here during the 80s, the bar bands all played certain type of classic rock tunes. Brown Eyed Girl, Free Bird, definitely, if you had, at the end of the night, just to appease that one guy.
It had always felt kind of inaccessible and like this scary thing I didn't know how to do, and just one night he was like, "Yeah, it's fine, just come sing a couple songs with us." And I think I wound up being on stage all night, just like I was playing a tambourine and singing harmony and playing the guitar and just messing around and having fun. And
MTV totally still kind of influenced it, even though it seemed like Juneau was 10 years behind the musical curve.
Things just started getting really active. Like in the last year or so that I've seen, you've just seen a lot of people that maybe were on the fringe of kind of busting out really come through, and I feel like now a lot of people are pretty confident and doing what they're supposed to do, which is get out and play and play and play.
I've been thinking a lot about how the only difference between people who do well, there are a lot of talented people out there, but the only difference between the ones who actually do well and don't is quite often how hard they go for it.
You'll say drive.
Yeah.
It's always been a lot of fun, which is what I always remember about it. It's tiring, it's work, it's hard, but the good kind, the kind that's worth it.
And Irene was a student employee of mine here at the rec center. So in a small community like Juneau, there's lots of little connections that are made. And so basically through this entire journey, of watching my son develop as a drummer and getting to know all of his friends that are involved in music and then their friends that are involved in music.
Juneau is really big on collaboration. Actually, music in general is about collaboration. So you have someone like me that likes to do lights. You have someone like Keith Giles from Roswell Giles Music Store, does amazing sound. Then you have Betsy Sims with Studio A and Mark Alton, and you have Sammy coming into town and doing Devil's Club.
We're still here at the Viking. We are Devil's Club, and the Devil's Horns just showed up, so it's about to get to quite diabolic.
Heard a lot about him before I'd ever even met him. His sister, Becky, moved to town, and every Thursday night at open mic, or every night that I was playing with the band, Becky was always there saying, "You have to meet my brother. You guys gotta jam here perfect. You gotta meet my brother."
Devil's Club started probably about 10 years ago, I want to say. I moved here in 2004, and I think that Sam and Scott had just kind of started up doing things there. They might have been playing for a little bit longer than that, but it's about 10 years I think Devil's Club has been in the works.
There's been multiple different bass players. There's been, through the years, depending on who's around. Libby works week on, week off, and so, same thing. Like, if she was around, Sam would be like, every night, come here,
He is a good collector of musicians, including myself, I guess. He sees something in people and he brings it out in a way that is pretty amazing.
Before, how we kind of had this telegraphic thing between us. It wasn't telepathic. We could look at each other and say something's going to happen, and we know it was going to happen. So it was kind of like a no-look pass, so to speak, in basketball.
My favorite thing is who he is today, and he's Sammy, and he's totally himself. He has his own voice, and he can play guitar like no other. And his range is amazing. He'll do a Tom Waits show and be all raspy with a big megaphone and really sing about some dark things. But then he could be really, really fun and do some, Black Keys or Leaf Fields, or still play Voodoo Child, and everybody's like, damn.
When you have people like Sammy and the rest of the band, the rest of the Devil's Clubs, everyone's a good enough musician.
I was gonna say it's stage magic. So
yeah, there we go. They're good enough musicians.
To get the needle deep in the groove where we're both locked in, which is magical in its own little way, but
everybody is helping each other out. Like, Keith will be like, Amanda, I have an hour until I need to get the show set up or something. And he'll call and I'll come help him. And if I need equipment, he's my guy, And you can see him at the Viking setting up stuff, or at the Silver Bow, or you'll see me at the Nickelodeon putting a show together.
He's going to be in the heavy metal band. Yeah. I'm going for the Judas Priest look. Gonna grow.
I'll be glad when you get back to that.
Again, collaboration. Southeast Alaska. All of us musicians and artists and lighting designers and sound designers working together. The Wolf Blowers are a perfect example of that.
I'm Liz.
And I'm Alex.
And we are the Wool Pullers.
Yes.
You were a bastard.
I was in a band called the Bastards. This band has been going on for like 10 years, but I was like the sixth bassist in it, and we did a house party.
Actually, 2 years ago today.
Yeah.
Or yesterday.
Yeah, 2 years ago today, actually.
It was 420.
It was 420.
Yesterday.
It was yesterday, yeah. And I saw her play out. It was only supposed to be our band that I was in, and then another band, and
my band showed up and we played an impromptu show.
Yeah, and
that's when we had our sights set.
Yeah, and
who is this?
I thought she was pretty cool, and about a week later we met up again, and then she got to hear me play, and she thought I was pretty cool, and we both thought that we were pretty cool.
Yeah, so we decided to join forces and see what we can do, and we haven't stopped since.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jordan Barron, aka Harrison B, he he's one of those people, like a lot of people I guess I've met, that have come up to Alaska sort of, you know, like, I don't know, necessarily escaping, but needing a change in their life.
1, 2, 3, 4.
My original reason for coming to Alaska was to be a zipline tour guide. So, yeah, went to college, graduated, didn't know what I wanted to do, just trying to get away from Nashville music and all that. And yeah, I loaded up my Jeep and I drove here. Phil called me and just asked if I'd be interested in letting his son play drums with me, because he said he'd been working hard, he's really good. I didn't know Cole then, I didn't know anything about him.
I started playing with Harrison D maybe 5 or so years ago. He came into town, into Juneau, and was going to play a show at the UAS Rec Center, which my dad manages, and he needed a drummer, so my dad said, my son plays drums.
I said, you know, I honestly don't know how good my son is as a drummer. I don't play musical instruments. I tell you this, he works really hard at it, and he's super reliable, and he will be on time and he'll be prepared.
We checked out the music, learned it all, practiced with him a couple times, and we've been playing shows ever since. Anytime we're together. Obviously he lives in Tennessee and I'm all over the place, but whenever we're together, then you know, we're playing shows.
2 or 3 years we've been together playing, and he knows this music sometimes even better than I do. True story. Yeah.
My name's Vicki Cox. I've lived in Haines since 1985. I've been coming to the Fog Cutter for, many years. It's kind of like your little home away from home. It's a fantastic little bar where everybody knows you and you're always welcome and friendly.
I am a substitute teacher in my spare time. Ooh, girl.
Oh, come on now. This is like my home away from home. This is really my first home, and then where I sleep is like my home away from home.
I'm attempting to tune harmonica here. Yeah, playing with Sammy, I have to, you know, blow a little harder than I might otherwise. Or draw, I should say, depending on the... Yeah, no, these things got a tune, and if you don't know how to tune them, which I'm just learning how to do, then you pay 60 or 70 bucks for a new harmonica, and it's not really sustainable.
Slush Not Snow is going to be featured tomorrow, right, on the main stage. What time? 6 o'clock on the main stage. JR and Eric on the main stage. Slush Not Snow. And we're Devil's Club. We're going to be playing on Saturday with Irene Muller. So Devil's Club, Slush Not Snow. I guess we're Devil Snow. That's not a drug reference. I swear.
It comes from Colombia, right? From Colombia.
We only had the fair performance. That was the only thing we had planned. Just the one show. And then Sammy was cool enough to hit us up and be like, hey man, I'm playing at the Fog Cutter tonight. You guys want to play between our sets and all that? So that whole trip we played like 5-6 times, which was awesome.
More than we were hoping for.
Yeah, totally.
So one of the performances I remember the most from the Haines trip was Sam at the Fog Cutter Bar playing Voodoo Child. And Sam's ease and his adeptness on the guitar is is world class. I think Sam's as good a blues guitar player as anybody I have ever seen or heard, and he does justice to everything I've ever heard him play, and he does some unbelievable versions of Jimi Hendrix's music, and Jimi Hendrix is my all-time favorite musician.
Sam's really good at pushing people to do things that they didn't think they could do. I mean, he's hard to keep up with no matter what, especially once he gets going. You just want to stand back and let him go, but then they'll look at you and it's your turn. And that's scary, but you can push through and, you know, you try to match, try to meet him. It's a conversation. You're talking to each other. He's talking to everybody. He's a great leader. You know, with one little nod or movement, he's saying a lot. He's telling everybody what to do.
It just amazes me every time I see Sam play his stuff, because just like anything that anybody does really well, is really adept at it. They really spent the time and put the energy into learning their craft and perfecting it and bringing it to the level of art. Sam, it just makes it look so easy, and he's so comfortable, and he's got a really nice presence when he's playing the guitar, and it's just a joy for me to watch.
The great thing about Sam is we all know that he can sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan, he can wail like Jimmy, and he can sing, you know, like James Brown if he really wanted to. He's pushed himself, and he knows, you know, I don't even know how many anymore. And I always tell him, like, hey, learn this song, this is a really great riff in it. And, you know, him and my sisters and I are just constantly in search of music. Like, I mean, how can you ever satiate that hunger to find more music, right? And Sam finally did something that we've always we're waiting for. Like, he knew it was right there, and he's done it. Like, he wrote an album, and it is phenomenal.
And then for him to ask my son at age 19 to come and play with him, to me, it makes a statement about my son. First of all, his capability to play at that level. He's a good bandmate and a good friend, and a very responsible individual who took those tasks on and performed them to the best of his ability, and just a true pleasure for me to watch and be a part of.
When we're all about teenagers, Sam's 6 years older than me. So, you know, he's like 16, I'm 10. I'm like, oh my God, he's amazing, he can play guitar. And we all admired him because he had a natural ability. He just had this ability to be able to play. And he really was the rock star of our household. My dad played bass, he played guitar, and he sang, and my mom sang, and there's all kinds of home videos that I recently found of him playing all these different gigs and stuff from the time he was 13 to now. I mean, he's still gigging. And it's really inspiring, and at the same time it's hard because the comparisons. But I think as you grow older and as a sibling, you just really enjoy each other's abilities and capabilities and their accomplishments.
We're at the Alaska State Fair, Southeast. We're right about to go on with Irene Muller. We got a ton of really, really good musicians. You can hear them right now. Just a really, really great group of guys. Everyone's watching each other. It's been one of the best festivals ever from what I've heard. And I'm stoked. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to go kill it. Well, right now it's 4:12. We're supposed to be meeting with Betsy at 4:20.
I think it'll all be just fine.
We don't have a set list. We kind of know what songs we're playing.
It'd be boring, wouldn't it, to have a set list?
Yeah, that's true. It would kind of throw us off to have a set list. You play one way for so long, you don't want to like shake things up like that. So I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be all on both both of these cameras.
A homegrown singer-songwriter here with her band from Juneau, Alaska, Irene Muller.
I don't know, I got on the ferry to Haines and just had this feeling of, I don't know, just suddenly being in it. Like everybody was really jazzed and really excited, and saw my guitar and asked when I was playing, and I got to talk about, my set, got to tell them when Devil's Club was playing, got to tell a whole bunch of friends to come out and hear us. And so that was really fun. It was a really cool, just kind of communal feeling of excitement. And then the gig went really well. I didn't lose anybody, didn't break anything. Everybody running the fair was really super helpful, and it was really great getting to work with all of those people. A lot of really talented, wonderful people.
I just want to be a rock star. And he's starting right here. Here's where it starts. Is this it? Crush Orange. Crush is going hard. I'm on my way. Caffeine all day long. Get up on stage. Kick this over. This is Irene.
There's a handprint on my
This is Haines, Alaska, my friend, at the Southeast Haines State Fair. One of my favorite events of the year. I've not been here in a few years, and man, it is awesome. It is awesome. People from all over the state. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
We're here to watch JR and the boys now, though, right?
That's right. We're watching Slush Not Snow.
Slush Not Snow.
Our partners in crime. They'll probably show up for a secret set tonight in between the breaks. So, down at the Fog Cutter, come see Devil's Club featuring Slush Not Snow.
We didn't have a shower for like 5 days, and like I remember we were like hoofing it everywhere, and then Sammy comes up in this awesome car and he's like, yeah, somebody's let me borrow it, like you guys need a shower, which is a nice way of saying like you guys smell awful. We didn't take him up on the offer, but the fact that he offered is just a nice gesture.
Yeah. I don't think anyone recognizes us. They probably look at us and like, these guys.
They recognize you some of the time. They'll be like, oh, you're that guy.
You're that guy that looks really weird.
Yeah.
Wears really tight pants. Yeah, that's probably what people know me for. Yeah.
Thank you. Give it up for Sammy on the main speakers. Hey, thanks for all the feedback, Sammy. That was really good. It's really positive. Devil's Club. Sammy Burrous is a good friend of ours. He's gonna rock that stage. Great blues guitar player, so don't miss that either.
Yeah, Sammy's always like I met him when I was attending university at UAS. I think he was a fry cook then. I was like, what the hell are you doing? You are way better than that. But he was just doing that whole blue collar thing. And then he let me play drums for him, and then eventually like he found out that we were in a band, and then I don't know, he's always been really supportive. Like he let us play at the Fog Cutter at Haines Fair.
What are we doing tonight? Man, we're gonna cut up the Fog Cutter, baby. What are you doing tonight?
I'm with you.
Are you with me? Okay, good, man, because we got a band together. It's gonna be a good time.
Players set it up and show it
What?
down.
How you feeling? What do you want? How do you think I'm feeling? How do I look? Like,
Beautiful.
ass.
For like $1,000.
Feel like $1,000?
Oh yeah.
I feel like about 10 pesos.
Video. They have everything. New York.
Goodness gracious.
Time for day 3.
This is where the sleep deprivation kicks in, and we just have a hallucinatory good time.
There you go. I agree on that. Definitely so.
All of a sudden, I'll
it.
just remember like songs from like that I didn't even know I knew how to play today. I was like, oh okay, there it is. This one's in Z sharp.
If I did that, would you say, Sam, come down, take charge of me? I wouldn't do that. Baby, I wouldn't do that.
You know what? That is just like me every day. What do you do, Jim? What don't I do?
Like
What do you do?
that's pretty common in Alaska.
Jack of all trades and master of none. Just got it
So
on
what do you do for
certificate.
work? Where do I start with it? Right now I play harmonica. That's my job right now. Today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll be dad.
Oh, the best part of playing in a band? The music. Yeah, That's all I got. I'll take it.
So Saturday night, one of the people that showed up was Irene, and we're always happy to have her because the thing that I like about Devil's Club is different people come in and out sometimes, and we'll sit in, and it can completely change our sound.
You're the finest bunch of people I've ever seen, I swear.
I don't know about you, but I feel pretty fine. Y'all feel all right? Y'all feel all right?
I'm the one who feels fine as hell.
One time. I feel all right tonight. All right.
I met Sam out at the university. He was working out there and I was a student. And I used to get in trouble all the time because you're not supposed to like hover around where you pick up your food from the kitchen. Yeah, and we talked about music. It came up that we both played music, and we batted the idea around for a bit and started playing together just for fun, just to kind of show each other our songs and get to know each other, and it just all went from there.
Saturday night at the Fog Cutter Bar in Haines, Alaska was unbelievable. It was one of those nights where the magic happened. The band was playing at a really high level and they were really into it. They're having a lot of fun. There were a couple of guest artists that stopped in and played with the basic band itself.
Saturday night was definitely probably one of the overall highlights of any of the times we've played, and I think at a fair or a festival like that, it makes it really easy if you're playing music to feed off the energy that's there. And I think at the Haines Fair, that particular night is sort of like the high.
Maybe a drum solo. I don't know. I want to give a drummer some. Can I give a drummer some? I want to give the drummer some. Give a drummer some.
I started playing with Sammy. That was a very interesting experience, and it was a really good learning experience for me. Sammy needed a drummer for several gigs. I told him I was available and that I'd play with him anytime he wanted, and so we had our first gig, and I asked for the set list. I think what happened is I asked for the set list, and he just said that we played a lot of blues. We had never played together before, and our first gig was a 4-hour set of blues and rock, and I just got through it like that. I learned to not know any of the songs before we started, and even when I play with Sammy now, a lot of the time I don't know what songs we're playing. He'll turn around and say, this is a medium shuffle or whatever, and I'll just start in and feel it out, as Jordan would say. But that's been my experience with Sammy, and it's neither good nor bad, but it's something that's really forced me to listen a lot, just kind of feel the music and kind of push and pull with the rest of the band to kind of feel where the song is supposed to be heading.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Because I can't fucking hear you. Are you guys ready? All right, all right, all right, all right. I guess if you're ready, I guess if you're ready.
Love it. Sam went a long time last night.
Yeah.
He went like most of the night before he broke his, or no, that was the night before. I can't remember. One night he went like the longest I've ever seen him go without breaking his string. Time to go. Gotta go. Is it time to rock and roll Hoochie Coo? Back to the office. Sam done with his Mexican feeding.
He's still eating.
Got his muzzle down in a bowl of chili. Something. See ya.
Magic mic and harmonica right there.
A good way to end it, and the ending is just beginning, so let's have a good night.
Yeah.
Catch that fast ferry tomorrow?
Yeah.
Us too. It's gonna be good.
You know what's so retarded?
See me on the side of the road if
I was supposed to say, welcome to Haynes. It's a great little drinking village with a fishing problem. Yeah, I did it the other way around. I said it out.
Get back on the street and do it again.
All right, you're listening to Annie on the Spot here on KXLL 100.7 FM in Juneau, Alaska. Got some of them in the background with Van Morrison. And in the studio is Mr. Sammy Burrous, the one and the only Mr. Devil's Club.
Oh, goodness. Thankfully, only one of me.
Get closer to that microphone, man.
Sorry, I'm being timid. I can't hear it.
Right on. You got a show tonight.
Yeah, it's a rendezvous. And I'm really stoked. Yeah, everybody's going to be there. You're going to be there.
I'm going to be there.
Matthew Hubbard's going to be there. Doug Bridges and Andy Ingstrom. And who else going to be? Scott Fry.
Scott Fry.
The mayor of Juneau.
The mayor of Juneau.
But Cameron and Brockett and Taylor, they're also coming down.
The Quaintrells.
The what?
Quaintrells.
I love that.
I love them.
I love that.
There's
Very
some hot
freaky
babes.
sounding. It's true. And with the trifecta you're completing, I think it's going to be a pretty devastating evening.
I'm going to let Sammy lead you in, and then I'm going to tell you all the story.
That, like, I don't think Sammy really told the rest of the band that we were going to be included that evening, but we did a good.
There we were.
10 songs maybe.
Yeah.
And we got her done. We did it right. We play together, and I play guitar for us, but having a full backing band.
Horns. Having horns.
So yeah,
like
that doesn't happen for us. The big leagues. Woo. Working on it. But it's only so much I can do with one guitar.
That was not a thinly veiled statement about how I don't play an instrument.
It actually wasn't meant to be, but then it kind of turned into that. And I'm sorry. I knew you were going to say that.
Here we are, Rockwell Ballroom upstairs, Juneau, Alaska, Harrison B show, the summer shakedown. It's about to go down. We're 15 minutes till, and we're ready to go.
Got a house one near one box. If you see me, believe me, I'm about to make make you look on control. Yeah. Well, hold up. Said you need to get a hold of your pride. Said I've been the bottom of it until the day of the die. So you need to get a hold of yourself. Yeah. Well, you see me, believe me, I'm about to make you look on control. Yeah. But the one thing they always talking about, yeah, the one thing they always know, they always turn to me. 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 Ooh, you, when you do me like that. But don't you see the more the light than that? Yeah, but you see me, believe me, I'm about to make it look on control. But the one thing they always talking about, yeah, the one